Another day of scrims, another matchup here with one of these teams that we really want to watch and we want to see OpTic play throughout the entirety of the year, the LA Thieves. So this is a map that they used to start off scrims with, and now it's kind of on the back end of it. So I think a lot of people would prefer to play Raid, which is why it's been like the third map that's played. But some teams still enjoy it. I don't know. I like Crossroads. It offers something that's a little bit different than the vast majority of maps that we tend to watch over the course of a Call of Duty League season. So I like that it's small. I like that it's quick. I like that it just offers something a little bit different. But in this scrim overall, these teams pretty much split. There were a couple maps that went OpTic's way. There were a couple that went LA Thieves' way. And that's really, I mean, you can almost say that with every scrim against every team. It seems like the vast majority of the time, these are really just going the same way, where a couple maps are a little bit bigger on, or a couple teams are a little bit better on the smaller maps. A couple teams are a little bit better on the bigger maps. It's just everybody seems to have a map that is a little bit better for them right now. And a lot of these scrims, whether it's against Minnesota in the video that we watched yesterday, or they're playing Dallas, or like today when they're playing LA Thieves, it just seems that there aren't necessarily really teams that are much better than everybody else right now. I think maybe you could say that for one or two, but that's the biggest reason why, and people have been asking for a power rankings video, but it's the biggest reason why I haven't really come out with one, because I don't understand. I don't think that you could really put, oh, you know what? This team's doing really well. This team is definitely better than this one. It just doesn't seem to be at that point in time right now. So I don't feel comfortable doing a power rankings. I could do it. I could say, you know what? Here are two teams that probably will end up being a little bit better, but we'll see. And then here's the next 10 teams, and they're all right in the middle, jumbled together, because that's how I feel right now with how each of these teams are playing. But as we go ahead and get into the breakdown of this actual map, we are inside of P3. If you're LA Thieves right now, things are going pretty well for you. I know you're down by about 25 points, but you do have spawns for P4. And with the movement of P4 over to the top part of the map, this is one that's really dominant. Although it looks like, and this is something else that I've seen, so it looks like things started to get contested inside that P3 hardpoint. So you could see there for a second that LA Thieves actually got a team wipe, but because everybody was up inside the hardpoint, Chicago actually spawned behind them at old P4. And that just happens when you're not super conscious of that back area of the map, because now as it pops towards P4, if you can get back behind over here to the left, as SCUMP's trying to do, then you have a chance to flip things out. But it's so hard to do. I mean, if you're able to push up a little bit, you can kind of get that P1 spawn if you're OpTic, but you basically have one person that can hold down this push through catwalk and the bottom jump up area, and the rest, everybody else, can really just watch inside the hard point. You can have your main AR sitting inside the hard point watching the push on the top side of the map. It's super hard to break, which is why they've went from being down by 25, being down by 30-ish, to now being up by 20 through the end of the first set of rotations, because that is the most important hill. You have to rotate early, which is exactly why you might have thought, well, as it was rotating over to P3, I kind of said LA Thieves are in good shape, even though they were down by 30, just because that's such a dominant hill. And as it rotates over to P3, over towards P4, if you have control of that side of the map, things are probably going to end up going your way. Sure, you can get team wiped, you can get flipped out. In fact, OpTic did spawn behind them there for that second. Had they been able to get a team wipe there and actually gotten control of P4, they had an opportunity, but they had one chance, and they just didn't capitalize on it. But as we're rotating here into the second set of rotations, they're getting time inside of P1, and you can see as SCUMP comes up right here, they do have these spawns for P2. P2 is not quite as dominant as P4, but it's enough to get them back into the lead, back into the ballgame, as long as they can hold this bottom ice area of the map. So, best thing about scrims is that we can hear exactly what they're talking about. So, as we're about to rotate over towards P2, let's go ahead, let's turn up the team comms so we can listen and hear exactly what they're discussing as it rotates throughout the end of this second set of rotations. If there's anything that is super critical that I want to touch on or talk about, I'll still go ahead and do that. But for now, let's go ahead, let's listen in.
Kenny, he's on our car. You're gonna
one's low left.
I'm gonna spawn out.
Another one low left and on time.
Got two.
Nice, stay up, back door.
Nah, they got me. There, one's in time.
I'm spawning back there, guys. On the car. Slasher weak on the crate.
I hit far right.
Yo, one guy's top cat in our cat room.
In our cat, yeah.
Two guys right. On P3, TJ. Back up to me.
Mini across cat. Nice.
One time.
Slasher back door hill weak. Back door hill one shot.
Nice, good job.
More back door.
The other one back door.
More back door.
One shot time. These guys.
Did we ever kill the guy cat?
Joking me, dude.
Yo,
top cat.
Yo, Catwalk. Donnie, hit him one, or didn't hit him. He's bottom mid, front door, P3.
Yo, one's P1 tank.
I wrote P1.
I don't see him.
See, so again, this is very similar to what we said on the first set of rotations, but it's just backwards. So now as we're rotating over towards P3, Chicago's a team that has a pretty big stronghold on those spawns for P4. So even though they basically just got team wiped and they gave up the time that they were getting inside of P3, this might not, we'll see how this works out. See, that's not the best. So what SCUMP was trying to do is SCUMP was trying to work the middle of the map there. Let me go ahead, let me pause this, and let's bring up our mini map for the first time. We are inside of P3. I know P4 is now up here towards the top hand side of the map. I just haven't moved it around yet on the graphic, but they were inside of P3. They didn't quite have this time yet. They were getting these back P4 spawns. So SCUMP made the decision that if the rest of his team is pushing up towards the top side of the map, both trying to get inside of P3, and your main AR is probably going towards new P4 so that they can get this stop over towards this top lane, what SCUMP decided to do is to hit the bottom part of the map, because if he can pinch from behind while his teammates hit the left-hand side of P3, that should be able to break that hard point. They keep those spawns, and they get time inside of P3. However, what happened is everybody that pushed the top side of the map up here ended up going down. So everybody up here ended up dropping. So as SCUMP was the last one alive hitting this bottom side of the map, now the left-hand side of the map is owned by LA Thieves. So that's going to take OpTic. That's going to spawn them over here to the right of P2. So it's a little bit unfortunate. It's not obviously the best thing that you would like to see, but now all you have to do is just get a team wipe, kind of what they're doing, and push out over towards old P4. If they're able to do that, then they're back in basically the same scenario they were in before, and there they go. One team wipe, push out the back, and you've got spawns again for P4. So nice job of regaining there, even after they lost spawns like they did. Let's go ahead. Let's listen back in.
Maybe cat.
Okay. I'm looking out with you.
Yeah, they could have right.
They could be cat. They could be cat.
Right,
guys.
Two mid door to right.
I'm flashing. I'm
looking
right.
out.
I have initial.
Mid door still hurt.
Flash right. Might be
I'm backing up.
I'll pick it up. Yo,
I don't see him matter at all.
Far right, Donnie dead.
Two far right. Three.
All
I go in front door. Yep. All right.
Far right, TJ. Absolutely.
One shot. I spawn here.
All the way in the back. One shot, Teach. He was one shot.
Teach dead. I got.
Left on me, guys.
Deep right.
Barrels. I can kill this guy. Nice.
Yep.
They're gonna be P1.
Nothing else.
P1 now.
Anything else, right?
MP3 fake flash.
I'm trying to hold right. I don't see anything right.
I'm trying to
hit
hold
one P3.
Helping you over.
Far
left. Too far left.
More deep box.
Dead.
Yo, cat door.
Dead. I got a cruise.
Actually, I'll play the next streak. I'm helping P1.
They're all over P3 got me, Donnie.
I'm watching camera.
They're all outer and shit. I'm laying down.
I'm watching your cross.
P3 door, guys. I'm one shot.
TJ crossing weak on you. He's already on you.
P3 door too. Yeah.
That was so hurt, bro.
One more there.
Donnie, P3 didn't hit him. And one's outer. They're spawning at old.
Back of the hill, TJ. TJ weak at old.
We're spawning at old now.
Go on time.
I'm like 3 times. I'm gonna hit right, guys.
Top cat, Donnie, weak.
On old hurt.
Top cat, Donnie dead.
Low right on me.
Nice job towards the end of P4 there by LA Thieves of getting about 15-20 seconds inside the hard point. If they don't get those 15 or 20 seconds, then it's probably a definite loss, but they're able to regain there, get the last 15 and 20, and I like the fact that SCUMP rotated through Catwalk. Now, even if they don't end up winning inside of P1, they should have the assurance of winning inside of P2 as long as they can hold this on the bottom side of the map. Let's go ahead. Let's listen into the finish here.
There's one shot,
Big
Kenny.
door, big door on me, guys. Big door.
Low left, Kenny. I don't see him.
One more.
Kenny, Ace and
Nice, three.
Can you guys see cat or no?
No, inside P3 done.
I'm getting cat. Can you get my low left side?
I have your mid
Yeah, I
doors.
can get
Yo,
low.
you have mid door. Okay. They could be out.
I have cat door. Cat, Kenny. One shot, cat,
One
Kenny.
mid door.
Absolute.
Mid door.
Absolute across
One
cat.
shot.
Absolute across cat.
I'm dead. One more out old. One more out old.
No, I
Oh, we're
split.
spawning out.
Got one.
Nice.
Trying to help you, Seth. I'm watching of you. And old's
One
not
cat.
peeking. And old's not peeking.
Top cat, I'm dead.
Top cat.
Cat.
Top
He's
cat.
their
top
side
cat.
cat,
Yes,
slasher.
Yeah, their side cat got me. Jumping out window. Jumping window.
Yo, okay. Top cat and mid. Yo, one's still
Oh,
P1.
one
One's
shot.
I'm wrapping
P1.
left.
Yeah,
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 we can get left and hit
think
arrows.
left.
Remember that.
He does
I
cat.
also have a cruise.
Yo, we're
You wanna
looking
use
for.
it?
Yo, we're looking for a KP3 right here.
We should
Ace,
play on
he's
back
close
left.
up,
Play on
close
back left and call the street. Play on back left and call the
Gonna
street.
I'm
use
calling
it,
my
use
straight.
it.
I'm calling my straight.
Yeah, play on the back left. Play on the back left. We'll get the back spawn. Start pushing back
on
left.
the
The
back
back crane should die.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
pushing
see
back left.
anything
Push back
else.
left. We gotta get the spawn. We gotta get the spawn.
I
I hit
spawned
him in
out still.
time. I hit him in
Just spawning
time.
crates then. Spawning crates then.
Top
Okay,
cat,
hit
top
cat.
cat.
Left crate,
Flasher.
left crate. Weak as fuck. He's
No.
back. or
Cat
back
still,
crate.
Top cat
cat door.
teach. Top cat teach.
Cat dead.
dead.
Yo, one's deep crates, guys.
Dead crate. Dead crate.
Nice. Good job.
Jump up, done.
Push back,
On
Kenny
top,
dead.
Kenny. Nice.
You dead. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice
Nice,
job.
done.
guys.
We're dead. Ace and D.
Nice job of breaking there, to be honest. They did just want to make sure they got the last kill or two there. SCUMP went 40 and 20, but towards the end there, they just did a nice job of, rather than coming up off of spawns in that old P4 location and continuing to hit the bottom side of the map or running through Catwalk, they decided, let's slow down, let's invest our streaks, let's hit the top side of the map so that they can get kills in those longer lines of sight. And then once they were able to push out the back of P2, they just flooded the hill, got the last two kills, and were able to get the W there. But really nice job there of just being patient, just holding off, investing the streak, and then playing around the kill or two that was able to get, and they came home with the win. So right now, I mean, teams are up in the air, right? They split this scrim. They kind of split yesterday with Minnesota. It's just, we'll see what happens here. A lot can change over the next month. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a like if you don't mind, as it really helps out the channel. And with that, guys, thank you so much. We will catch you in tomorrow's upload.